Imagine carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones. Each stone represents a regret, a past mistake that you can't seem to let go of. Every time you try to move forward, the weight pulls you back, making it harder to take even a single step. This is the burden of worry over past mistakes, something many of us experience daily. But what if there was a way to lighten that load? In this exploration of Buddhist teachings, we will delve into how we can release ourselves from the shackles of regret and find a path to acceptance and growth. Buddhism offers profound insights that can help us navigate our internal struggles and ultimately transform our lives. The challenge of forgiveness. Forgiveness is often touted as a noble act, yet it remains one of the most challenging human experiences. We can find it relatively easy to forgive others for their transgressions against us, but when it comes to forgiving ourselves, we encounter a significant hurdle. The inner critic can be relentless, reminding us of our past missteps and failures. For many, this self-criticism can lead to a cycle of negative thinking, where we dwell on our mistakes rather than learning from them. We replay the events in our minds, wishing we had acted differently or made other choices. This behavior is not only emotionally draining but also counterproductive. It prevents us from living in the present and making positive changes in our lives. The wisdom of the Buddha. The Buddha provides a framework for understanding and dealing with our mistakes that can help us break free from this cycle of regret. His teachings emphasize the importance of acknowledging our mistakes and viewing them through a lens of compassion and understanding. Step 1. Acceptance. The first and perhaps most critical step in addressing past mistakes is acceptance. The Buddha teaches that we must recognize our mistakes for what they are without allowing our egos to distort the reality of the situation. A common saying goes, "To err is human." Accepting our humanity means acknowledging that we are imperfect beings prone to making mistakes. When we accept our errors, we shift our mindset from one of self-hatred to one of self-compassion. This transition is essential for healing. The act of acceptance allows us to open our minds and hearts, creating space for growth and positive change. Example story: consider the story of a young artist, Sarah, who poured her heart and soul into her first exhibition. However, when she received harsh criticism from critics, she spiraled into self-doubt and regret. Instead of accepting the feedback as part of her growth, she clung to her mistakes, allowing them to define her. Over time, with guidance from a mentor, she learned to accept her imperfections and use criticism constructively. This acceptance paved the way for her to evolve as an artist, leading her to create her most impactful work yet. Step 2. Confession. Once we have accepted our mistakes, the next step is confession. The Buddha encourages individuals to reveal their errors to someone who can understand and support them, someone who will listen without judgment. This act of sharing can provide immense relief and clarity. By voicing our regrets, we take a significant step toward liberating ourselves from the burdens of guilt and shame. The right person can offer valuable advice and insights that we might not have considered. This support can be transformative, providing a new perspective on our experiences. Example story: let's return to Sarah. After her initial failure, she confided in her best friend, who had experienced similar setbacks. Through their conversation, Sarah realized that many successful artists had faced harsh criticism early in their careers. This revelation helped her reframe her own experience as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock. Step 3. Taking right action. The third step is about taking right action to prevent the same mistakes from recurring. The Buddha emphasizes the importance of being mindful and committed to change. Acknowledging our past is crucial, but it is equally vital to learn from those experiences and strive for better choices in the future. This commitment to personal growth is what separates individuals who stagnate from those who evolve. It's not about avoiding mistakes altogether, rather, it's about learning to navigate them with wisdom and intention. Example story: after confiding in her friend, Sarah decided to approach her next exhibition differently. She actively sought feedback throughout her creative process and embraced the idea of growth rather than perfection. This shift in mindset allowed her to produce work that resonated deeply with her audience and helped her regain her confidence. The nature of being human. It's essential to recognize that making mistakes is an intrinsic part of the human experience. In a world that often demands perfection, we can easily fall into the trap of believing that we should never falter. However, this belief is not only unrealistic but also detrimental to our mental well-being. By understanding that mistakes are opportunities for growth, we can cultivate a more compassionate relationship with ourselves. This understanding fosters resilience, enabling us to bounce back from setbacks and continue moving forward. In summary, the journey to stop worrying about past mistakes involves a process of acceptance, confession, and action. By embracing our humanity and the imperfections that come with it, we can liberate ourselves from the burdens of regret and self-doubt. Key takeaways: acceptance is the first step. Acknowledge your mistakes without self-hatred. Confess to a trusted person. Share your experiences with someone who will listen and offer guidance. Take action. Commit to learning from your mistakes and making better choices in the future. The lessons from Buddhism encourage us to view our mistakes as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. By internalizing these teachings, we can lead a more fulfilling and less burdensome life, embracing each day as a new opportunity for growth and learning.